Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if this is your first time of visiting this channel, click on the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that whenever I post a new video, you will get notified as soon as possible. So we've ended the week. That is the first week of the month of July. We are zooming into the second week so far the month of July is concerned. So just as we normally do on this channel, on the weekend, I bring you the weekly market forecast. We look at what has happened in the previous week and what is yet to happen so far as the subsequent weeks ahead are concerned. And last week was NFP, all right, and you also what happened in the market. I mean, the Friday's NFP normally isn't a market that on a normal level you should be excited about to be in. All right, yeah, sometimes you get rough, sometimes too. I mean, things are clear. I believe this NFP was a little bit clearer. Even though I didn't really involve myself in it, especially with the USD pairs, but right after the NFP, I went onto the market and seeing the price action. I mean, everything was a little bit okay. I mean, it was clear. Sometimes you get it that way, sometimes too you don't get it that way. So it is best for you to stay out. All right, opportunities in the market are numerous, and you are going to get opportunity as and when it's necessary. All right, yeah. So before we go into the channel, let's look at the economic news calendar. Then we see the news that is up for us going into a new week. All right, but I want you to watch this video through to the end because I have a special news for you. You wouldn't want to miss. There's a special package for you at the end. It's a good news, of course, so just stay tuned. Yeah, so on Monday we have GBP retail sales monitors, that is year over year for the month of June. All right, here, so wait to see how the market is going to react so far as this high impact change is concerned. On Tuesday we have the Australian Westpac Consumer Confidence Index for the month of July. We also have the consumer confidence change also for the month of July, and then we have the NAB business confidence for the month of June. You also have Euro CPI. All right, I'll be looking forward to this because this is going to have a very huge impact so far as the Euro market is concerned. So I'll be looking forward to see how the market is going to react. We also have the GBP unemployment rate. You also have the GBP climate count change for the month of June. We have the GBP employment change for the month of April, and we have the Euro Economic Sentiment Index for the month of July. On Wednesday, we have the RBA government speech. All right, yes, so that is going to be about the rate announcement speech, yeah, something like that. You also have CPI for Spain. What we saw was a CPI for Germany. This one is CPI for Spain, of which they are all in the Eurozone. So we are likely to see how the market is going to act. On that same Wednesday is the CPI for the United States. All right, CPI for the month of June. That is the inflation rate month over month for the month of June, and CPI for the month of June. You also have inflation rate year over year for the month of June. All right. Maybe in my subsequent videos, I will explain to you the meaning of month over month and then the year over year. All right, I'm trying to find my way around it and see how things go. So just be on the watch. In my next subsequent recordings or my next subsequent forecast, I'll let you guys know what it's supposed to mean. All right, yeah. We also have the CPI. All right, see, yes, the same CPI for the month of June. We have the Canadian Bank, that is the Bank of Canada Monetary Policy Report, also on that same Wednesday. All right, then we have on Thursday there is a bank holiday for Montenegro, which is also in the Eurozone, that is the statehood. This is not going to really affect the market. All right, yeah, so we can just ignore it. We have GBP goods trade balance for the month of May. We have GBP GDP month over month for the month of May. We also have GBP goods trade balance for the month of May. We have USD initial jobless claims for the month of July. We have USD jobless claims 4-week average for the month of July. We also have the USD continuing jobless claims for the month of July, and we have USD producer price index. All right, so we have the consumer price index on Wednesday, and then Thursday we have the producer price index month over month for the month of June. On Friday we have Euro That is, it's a bank holiday in France. I don't really know what this is, but it's a bank holiday in France. Let's take it that way. And then the same statehood day on Montenegro within the Eurozone on Friday. Then we have the USD Michigan Consumer Sentiment for the month of July, high impact news on Friday. All right, so these are the high impact news you are expected to see, or you are expected to see on the market. All right, it's really going to be interesting how the market is going to react so far as next week is concerned. So that's just that for the economics news calendar. Let's look at what is happening on the charts. All right, so we start with the dollar index. If you watched my weekly forecast last week, I made you aware that I'm expecting a drop. All right, I clearly made you aware that I'm expecting a drop on the dollar index, and a drop finally happened Thursday, Friday. All right, yes, and I mean, I'm very interested to see how the market is going to react from there, because from this impulse move we are seeing to the downside, it has really given me the signal or the information that we are going to see lower prices so far as the month of July is concerned. So looking at this range, you're taking into consideration the range concept. I'll just take my gun box to fish out the 50% range of this range candle here. All right, and look at this within that field. So sorry, let me push it here to, yeah. So that is just that. So we have the 50% range. So within this 50% range, just as you can see, let me zoom in for you to see. Yeah. So within the so this is the 50%. All right. So about the 50%, always I say is what is discount. Sorry, is premium. Below the 50% is what is discount. And right on the 50% level, if we should look at the left hand side of the chart, we are seeing this candle here, and then this is a bearish breaker we are seeing right here, right? Because this is the last down close candle prior to price moving to the downside to take out the buy side liquidity, and then breaking that low, taking out the sell side liquidity. And so going into next week, I'm expecting to see price at least fill 50% of this range. Then we see a move to the downside, taking out this low. All right, yes, so 50% into this range, that is price moving into this bearish breaker we are seeing here, then a push to the downside. So that is going to be my expectation on the dollar index so far as next week is concerned. So that is just that for the dollar index. Let's look at what is happening on EURGBP. All right, I always tell you why I analyze EURGBP. So if you don't know why, I mean, go back into my previous forecast videos to know why I'm analyzing EURGBP. So for EURGBP, with the CPI coming, I am of the view that they are likely to take out this low. Right, they are likely to take out this low, then push price to the upside, because price has failed to move to the downside. Right, yes, price has failed to move to the downside. But let's switch to the weekly and see what is happening on the weekly time frame. Yeah, so this is the weekly time frame. All right, yes, so just as you can see, we have a very small fair value gap above this bullish order block we are seeing here. I don't know if you are seeing it, but let me just mark it out for you to have a clearer view of it. Yeah, so looking at this low, and then looking at this high right here, there is a fair value gap. But if you should also look critically, you can see that there has been a price fill within that fair value gap, but not fully. All right, yes, but not fully. And sometimes price doesn't have to fill it fully. It sometimes fill 50%, or even look at this, price has filled more than 50% of this fair value gap we are seeing here. So going into next week, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see price continue to push to the upside into this old low that was broken. All right, so that is going to be my expectation on EURGBP so far as next week is concerned. All right, so that is just that for EURGBP. Let's quickly look at what is happening on EURUSD. Yeah, so for EURUSD, just as we can see, just as I always say, it's inversely related to the dollar index. So if I'm expecting bearish prices on the dollar index, then definitely it should tell you that I will be expecting bullish prices so far as EURUSD is concerned. And so this is an inverse relationship or an inverse reaction of the dollar index. So just as we saw an impulse move to the downside on the dollar index, we are seeing an impulse move to the upside on EURUSD. So an opposite plan. All right, so currently I want to see price fill at least 50% of this range we are seeing here, then we see a move to the upside. All right, yeah, so I want to see something like this. I want to see price move at least back into the zone, then we see a move to the upside. Yeah, so that is going to be my expectation on EURUSD. Yeah, so I'll be looking for bullish prices, and this is my next draw on liquidity. So that is just that for EURUSD. Let's look at what is happening on GBPUSD. Yeah, so for GBPUSD, same plan. All right, for GBPUSD, same plan. But look at something here. We saw a bearish breaker. All right, we saw a bearish breaker on the dollar index. We didn't really see a bullish breaker on EURUSD, but we are seeing a bullish breaker on GBPUSD. All right, yeah, so this is the bullish breaker. This is the last up close candle prior to price moving to the downside to take out this sell side liquidity, then into this bearish block we are seeing here. And we've seen price break out this high. And so going into next week, I'll expect price fill up 50% of this range, then tapping, or at the same time tapping into this bullish breaker, then we see a continuation to the upside. All right, we see a continuation to the upside. So that is also my expectation so far as GBPUSD is concerned. That is just that for GBPUSD. So let's look at what is happening on AUDUSD. So for AUDUSD, I'll be looking for bullish prices. All right, yes. So far as I'm bearish on the dollar index, then definitely I should be looking for bullish prices in the foreign currency. So AUDUSD, I would want to see price continue to finally break this high, come back a little bit, then we see a push to the upside finally. All right, or we can still see that push, all right, a little bit, then a move back, then we see a move to the upside. Or even with that move back, it's likely, or I wouldn't be surprised if I see a wick. All right, a move to this zone, a rejection forming a wick, then we see a continuation to the upside. So on AUDUSD too, I'll be looking for bullish prices. All right, I'll be looking for bullish prices on AUDUSD, and this zone here will be my next draw on liquidity. So just take note of that. All right, just take note of that. We look at USDCAD. All right, for the reason, or my reason of adding USDCAD will be made known at the last part of the video. It comes with the announcements that I have for you. All right, so you stay tuned with that. All right, make sure you stay true to the end to hear the good news I have for all of you. It's really going to be of a benefit to you. For USDCAD, I'll be looking for bearish prices. All right, bullish dollar, bearish USDCAD. So I mean that makes sense. Yeah, so for USDCAD, I'll expect price to fill up at least 50% of this impulse move, then we see a continuation to the downside, taking out this low. Once this low is being taken out, all right, once this low is being taken out, then it qualifies to be a breaker. So be on the watch for this. Once this low is being is taken out, then definitely that is going to qualify it to be a breaker. All right, yes. So until now, we will expect to see price break, come back, then you see a continuation to the downside. So that is going to be my expectation so far as USDCAD is concerned. So that is just that for USDCAD. Let's look at the yen family. We'll start with EURJPY. Yeah, so for EURJPY, let's switch to the weekly to see something on EURJPY. Yeah, so for the weekly, we've seen price. This is an order block. This line we are seeing here is an order block on the monthly. All right, yes, you can switch onto your chart and check the monthly time frame and see this line represents a bearish order block on the monthly time frame. So we've seen price was rejected this line twice, this one and this one. Finally, we've seen last week taking out this low. So once this low has been taken out, I would expect to see price would continue to shift to the downside into this very zone. All right, because that's a fair value gap. If you have to break this low finally, then you're going to see price push the downside for the long term. But for now, I want to see price move into this fair value gap. So that is just that for the weekly. So let's switch to the daily. Yeah, so back onto the daily, my attention draws to this last down close candle here. All right, yes. So if I would go in for a sell, or if I should start looking for a sell so far as next week is concerned on EURJPY, I would want to see price finally validate this low, come back here, then you see a shift to the downside. So once this low is being violated, or once this candle here is being violated, then it qualifies to be a bearish breaker for price to move back into it. Then we see a push to the downside. So I'm going to be very, very patient on EURJPY. Right? Yeah. So that is just that for EURJPY. Let's look at GBPJPY finally. Yeah. So for GBPJPY, price has given us an impulse move. We haven't seen price breaking any major low, just as we saw on EURJPY. All right. For EURJPY, we've seen price taking out this low. All right, this swing low. You've seen price taking out this swing low, as well as this low we are seeing here. But for GBPJPY, things are not like that. Yes, for GBPJPY, things are not like that. All right, the low has not really been broken. So for GBPJPY, I would wait for more confirmation. I would wait for more confirmation on GBPJPY before I react. All right, and I'm glad next week you have a lot of GBP high impact news, so it's really going to give me a clear direction as to where the market is going to move on a long-term basis. So that is just that so far as the weekly market outlook is concerned. Now to what I told you I had for you. All right, I'm looking at giving you guys a daily price action update, all right, on intraday basis. So I'll bring you a daily update. So it's going to be every day. So when the day ends, that is during the New York close, I'll bring you a review of how the market reacted within the day, and then we look at how the market is going to, or how the market will likely react so far as the following day is concerned. So if you are in my channel already, you realize that I even posted a flyer here. All right, yeah. So just as you can see, this is what we are expecting. All right, or this is what I'm planning to do. Yeah, so look at the dollar index, we look at GBPUSD, look at USDCAD, then we look at GBPJPY. One will ask, why am I select, or why did I select this pair? All right, so the dollar index is something I can do with GBPUSD, USDCAD. So GBPUSD is so in terms of correlation, so I considered correlation wise. All right, so if I'm looking at the dollar index, I need to look at a pair that is negatively correlated to the dollar index, and a pair that is positively correlated to the dollar index. All right, so correlation wise made me consider that, and I should look at another pair, and the pair that fits in was GBPJPY. So on a daily basis, this is what I'm going to do on my channel. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you tap on the subscribe button and then smash the notification bell. If you're not part of my Telegram community too, the link is in the description box below. Click on the link and be part of the Clairvoyant Traders Telegram community. All right, with that said, I'll wish you all a good luck and good trade. I'll come your way again another time. Peace.